Tips for selling your home during uncertain times. I'm going to talk about that now. Hey everyone, my name's Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. And today I'm going to talk to you about tips for selling your home during uncertain times. There's been a lot of discussion about what's going on with the market. Interest rates are a bit higher than they were in previous years, although they've recently gone down. In some areas, that is still not moving the needle. Properties are staying on the market a little bit longer than we like, and there's just a lot of new rules around these condominium buildings, and of course we have the election season. So there's a lot going on, and people are moving in and out of our city like they always do, and when people need to sell a property, they get nervous with all of these exterior things going on, and they feel like a little bit hopeless sometimes. I've been having a lot of discussions with sellers who, have had their property listed in the past, not with us, but with other people, and the properties just didn't sell. They're frustrated and they want to know what they need to do to get the home sold now. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box to download our free relocation guide. You can also get on our weekly newsletter. Okay, let's get started. Sometimes people will give me a call and they'll say, hey, listen, I only want to have a listing agreement for 2 months. Can you get my whole home sold in 2 months? And my answer is, it really depends on your area. One of the first things that we have to do is have a look at the market. Homes sell based on price, condition, and location. And so when we're taking a listing, we really want to understand, based on price, condition, and location, how long will it take to sell a home in that neighborhood. So it's really important to understand the market statistics for that area. Miami-Dade and Broward have many different types of properties and price points and areas. And in every single one of these little niche areas, based on price, condition, and location, it can take a certain amount of time to sell. So we have to understand the market data and what is going on there. Sometimes in some areas, it may take 6 months to sell a property. Of course, we don't want to hold a listing for 6 months. We want to get the property sold as soon as possible. One reason, because I don't want to have to update you every single week and drive you nuts about why the property is not selling. And I know that's also annoying for you. Number two, it doesn't look good for a property to sit on a market for a very long time. And number three, it's just, I know it's frustrating for you as the seller. So we have to be realistic though, and we have to look at the market data to see what's going on. And after you study this market data, it makes things a lot more certain, because we can definitely say something like, hey, based on price, condition, and location, it may take this long to sell your property. And that will give you a lot more confidence in today's uncertain market. Another tip for selling your property in these uncertain times is really to understand the real value of that property today. And, I'm going to say it again, but homes sell based on price, condition, and location. So we really have to look at the most comparable properties that have sold in your neighborhood over the last 6 months. That's what the appraisers use when they are looking at properties and they're trying to value a property. It's just important to see the most recent data, because the data changes from year to year. And what happened in 2019 and 2020 and 2021 is very different than now. And what I find that a lot of people do wrong is they look at what's on the market, what's active right now, or what someone had a property listed for, and unfortunately that property didn't sell for, maybe in the last year or so, and they will use that as a pricing analysis. The best way to price the property is to compare it to the most recent properties that have sold over the last 6 months, and that will give you a very good idea about pricing in today's market. Next, it's really important to clarify your motivation for selling. So one thing that I really like to do is talk with our sellers about why they need to sell the property. Sometimes people think they're motivated to sell a property, and really they're not. Maybe they just like the idea of selling and moving to a different state, but they don't really have to. Or maybe they like the idea of selling that second home, but they might actually use it over the holidays. So it's really important to be laser focused and have a lot of clarity around why you want to get a property sold. Because if you are just testing the market in today's market, this is not the market to be testing in, because the property is just going to sit, especially if you overprice it, and nothing is going to happen. You would be very surprised about how often people overprice a property by $20,000 or $30,000, and when that reduction happens for $20,000 or $30,000, the property moves. So I think it's very important to be laser focused on why you want to sell the property. And maybe it's not the time to sell it, because sometimes you may have to make some compromises that you may not be prepared to make if you don't have a true vision in needing to get the property sold. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. But sometimes people, they're just not willing to make compromises. And to me, that means they may not be that motivated to sell the property. So in today's market and these uncertain times, it's really important to have a very clear vision of what's the next step after the property gets sold, because sometimes you may miss the boat if you're not able to compromise just a little bit in order to get the property sold. I said this in a recent video that I did as well, and I just cannot talk enough about this. It's really important to repair anything that you are planning to convey with the property. For example, if something is broken, get it fixed or take it out. I mean, the main appliances need to be in the property and they need to be working. Broken blinds, old appliances that really don't belong in the property, leaky things that will kill a inspection report that people need for their insurance. Get things repaired and get them fixed. If you want, you can even do a pre-inspection and have an inspector go around as if they were inspecting for a buyer, so you know what to fix. This is really important, because you could really be almost on your way out the door with the buyer doing inspections, and then something come up that's really ridiculous, i.e. a leaky sink. That will really kill an inspection, and it'll kill a deal if the buyer cannot get insurance because of a leaky sink. And those have to be fixed before closing for buyers to bind insurance. So it's just something that we can talk about at a listing appointment. But these little details will help move the needle in getting your property sold in today's market. Offers that are contingent on one party buying or selling on the other side. So we work with a lot of sellers who need to buy on the other side. And we also work with a lot of sellers who accept offers based on a buyer buying the property from maybe another state. So this is a really common process in transaction in Miami-Dade and in Broward, but you really need to get crystal clear about what their contract says, their offer says, to make sure you're not going under contract with a buyer who has not sold their property, but they actually need that money to buy yours. So definitely have a look at these offers that are contingent on selling another property, and you need to understand where they are in their process. Are they saying they're going to buy your property, but they haven't put their property on the market yet? That's probably not a great offer. Or are they saying their property is under contract, they just need to close, and then they're going to buy yours? Completely different story. One of the best things that we like to do is to have a very strong seller strategy session with our sellers. And we just really go over all of these details so that you know what to expect. And then, of course, we allow you to properly plan for the process. In uncertain times, there's a lot more strategy involved. There's so much to know. And I think once you have a look at the data, you will have a very clear idea about what it takes to sell your property in today's market. We do this very successfully every single month. We help people buy and sell homes here, and we would love the opportunity to help you and the opportunity to chat. If you have more questions about selling in Miami-Dade or Broward, always feel free to give us a call. My name's Jamey Prezzi. This is my husband, Ogden Prezzi. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, and we will see you soon.